do a good video on what's come of the United States and their whopping 123 debt to GDP ratio for government. Unsustainable government. And House Republicans under McCarthy, leader of the House Speaker, was to force Joe Biden to make drastic cuts to the American debt ceiling, saying, listen, we got to reduce spending. The government is out of control. Like anything, there's expenses and revenues. We have that here in Canada too. Provinces have it, as in the 50 states have it. But Joe Biden's federal government is right out of control. Sadly, McCarthy didn't live up to what he said. I'm reading the fine details today. Very little of anything, really, honestly. The massive spending continues. And what does that really mean? Well, it means a credit downsizing for the United States of America, meaning they're not going to be worth as much on the global scene, which is detrimental to all countries in USD. That's going to have ripple effects. It also has ripple effects in foreign investment. We can look at Canada, for example, and all we have seen, regardless of what everybody tells you, is diminishing foreign investment from the United States of America. In fact, it was China that picked up the slack. People don't like that for Canada, but that is the truth. I only tell the truth. I don't sugarcoat things. I don't tell people what they want to hear. So that's what's happened. McCarthy caved. He went rhino as usual. It was expected. They all talk tough, but in the end, they bend the proverbial knee. Many physical conservative Republicans are upset with it. They're likely not to vote that way, but here's the problem. There's enough rhino Republicans and, of course, Democrats to see the budget through. It's likely to get voted through, which means the debt ceiling will remain unchanged relatively. And it's so piss poor, it's not even funny. Like I said, there needs to be a 23% cut minimally in the federal budget. And they don't want to do that. They've increased the debt ceiling now all the way to 2025. It has to go through House, but it's likely to go through with rhino Republicans and House Democrats. And that's going to have a rippling effect for everybody who trades on the world stage in USD. It's going to affect Canada too. We're going to see a drop in manufacturing and all kinds of industries. Even our energy is going to feel that. And I think people aren't prepared for the reality of what's coming when USA goes into recession. So do we follow suit very closely. Countries tied to USD feel the effects of USD. We're going to see that. We're going to see a downgrading in the American credit rating. It has to happen. It's out of control spending. Again, I'm going to say it. Debt to GDP ratio for government is 123%. They didn't cut it down. It's so large, out of control, it's not even funny. A lot of people blaming the Ukraine war, a lot of people blaming the Green New Deal. And we're going to see it's going to affect Canada rather largely. More Elon Musk. A lot of people not talking about this, but it's major, and it happened to Facebook too, and other groups caught selling personal information to foreign companies overseas. Elon Musk is no exception to that. Elon Musk is nailed for selling American, Canadian data overseas. Now, what is it going to cost? Well, it's a $4 billion fine. But here's the sad and true reality of it that nobody's talking about. Elon Musk is largely largely in his massive empire on the backs of American taxpayers. In fact, 80% of his wealth and his corporations are tied directly to the American taxpayer. Who is going to pay the most of his $4 billion fine? Well, that's all the American taxpayers, of course. Look at the Tesla subsidies. Look at SpaceX subsidies. And it's all one union of corporations, folks. And in the world of large, multi-dimensional corporations, they just transfer wealth out of one company to pick up the slack for the other one. That's the group of companies. It also works in investment that way too. That's where Canada's losing extremely large. Lots of companies redirect what wealth they make in Canada out of Canada into other foreign entities. It saves these companies massive in taxation. They can grow and not pay any taxes. While Elon Musk's facing a $4 billion fine for stealing personal information, transferring it to foreign companies for advertising purposes. That's illegal in the United States. Not so in Canada, but in USA, that's illegal. And it comes with a fine. Unfortunately, it is the sucker American taxpayer who's on the hook for 80% of it. $3 billion. Isn't that a laugh and a joke? It amazes me when we look at socialism, how many people are blind to socialism. Socialism, it's always the public, the defined taxpayers, who, just like USA and Canada, who are the largest paying taxpayers? The working class. Yes, it's you who have the least, who've been devalued the most, who've had to deal with the most in hyperinflation. It is you who will pay those fines. That's my video, folks. Get it out there. Credible, factual, real, no sugarcoating, no lies. News you'll never get anywhere else. Real economics as it really is. That's my video. I'm enjoy a day with my girls at the mall and then see some friends later. I'll shoot some videos of a friend of mine's SUV all deckled out in stickers. We're going to meet with that. I'm going to see about getting myself some too now that I'm home. I've got a few days. I have one more personal event to deal with for family, for one of my children, and then it's back to work. God bless. Share, share, share. Get it out there. Bye now.